we're going to start to see this shift of these people that come into the person that was hiding under the shell. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel for another video today, and welcome to week 3 of the GLP1 discussion series. If you're new here, my name is Brittany and I have lost over 100 pounds using branded Mounjaro and then compounded tirzepatide. And here on my channel, I love to share everything GLP1 related. So if you are interested in that, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment and join in on the fun. I started this specific series, the GLP1 discussions, about 3 weeks ago, where I am just talking about topics that I feel like deserve a little bit more space or that can spark conversation, build community, that sort of thing. So that is what we are doing with this series. I have been releasing them once a week, and that will be for the foreseeable future. So if you have a topic that you feel like deserves some discussion time or you would like to hear discussed, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. Also, before we jump in, I do want to say that I do have a TikTok that I just recently started venturing into that world. I will leave a link to it down below. I am so close to hitting 1,000 followers over there. And allegedly, I don't know TikTok like literally at all, but allegedly when you hit 1,000 followers, it unlocks like this whole new thing. Like you're able to do more once you have that amount of followers. So if you want to help me in that venture, I would greatly appreciate it. I will leave a link down below to my TikTok. But today we are discussing the GLP1 glow up. Okay. Bear with me, right? So I have been seeing a lot about this recently, and it's something that I didn't necessarily give much thought to at first. People on TikTok, people on Reddit, within Facebook groups started talking about how this sort of natural glow up is happening when somebody has been on GLP-1s for any length of time, essentially. And what they're meaning when they say glow up is women, most often it's referred to with women, but I'm sure men could be in the same position. But with women, just caring more about themselves and their overall health as a package. So they put more effort into their clothing choices, into their hair, into their skincare, into their makeup, all of that stuff that I think we've traditionally seen just more healthy, naturally skinny, confident women doing. And what I look at it as, and you guys can of course leave me any of your thoughts, opinions down below. That is what this series is for. I welcome your opinions. I look at it as we are losing weight and we are getting more healthy, we are evolving into a picture of health. And I think with that, just sort of naturally comes taking better care of yourself overall. Now, I do have like a personal side to this as well. And I like to throw personal stories in there if I can. And I feel like I have one that like really proves this point, right? So I made a video a couple of weeks ago sharing my story about my past childhood and abuse that I endured at the hands of one of my siblings in childhood for many, many, many years. And in that video, I shared that I actually would hide beneath my weight and feeling, less noticed if I was heavier, if I didn't wear makeup, if I didn't put any effort into the way that I looked, or I guess not even necessarily just no effort, more so effort into looking bad, then I would get not attention at all. And even I never really received negative attention either. I just didn't receive any attention. It wasn't just that I was overweight and didn't do makeup or hair or anything like that. It also was that I just sort of slipped into the background, hid into the background to the point where I wasn't being loud and out there and confident. And so people just didn't notice me. Okay. So as I have gone through this process over the last 2 years of losing weight and of finding myself as a woman, not just through weight loss, but through boundary setting and trauma healing and all of everything that I've been working on over the past 2 years within myself, I have naturally started to put more thought and care into my appearance. And the funny thing is that as I was thinking about this video and prepping for this video, several of you have been making comments to the effect of the exact same thing. I received a comment just yesterday where it was a woman who was like, I don't want you to take this negatively, but you seem to be leaning, she said, leaning more into your beauty. And I read that comment yesterday and I was like, this is so ironic because this is the video that I'm going to be filming for this week's episode. And so it just really struck a fire under me to find out more about this. And if this is something, I have a hair, if this is something that is really happening. 2 years ago, I didn't care about makeup. I never put any on. If you go back to my videos from the very beginning, I most often am sitting there, no makeup, hair barely brushed, with my glasses on, just kind of talking to the camera in an oversized sweatshirt, putting no effort into myself. And I think, and I know that most of that was because I just wasn't confident in myself as a person, as a quote unquote influencer or content creator, somebody that was giving advice and sharing stories. I wasn't confident in that space yet, and I definitely wasn't confident in my womanhood yet. So, what do you think? I have noticed a pretty big trend, especially on TikTok, as I've ventured into that journey, of women who are on GLP-1s. Again, not just women, men definitely as well, but women who are finally getting healthy and finally getting the help that we've needed to be healthy for all of our lives. So we're finally kind of making this connection between health and confidence and our outward appearance. And I don't think that it can be misconstrued to think that women are just doing this to look more attractive or to be received as more attractive. I really think it's this sort of coming of age thing where once we're getting healthy and once we are being received by the world differently and once we are coming into ourselves, we are also naturally leaning more into our beauty and our womanhood and trying to find different ways to care for ourselves, because caring for yourself is not just eating healthy, right? Caring for yourself is moving your body and reading and becoming intellectually more advanced, and also taking care of your skin and your hair and presenting yourself to the world in a way that you're going to be well received. They say that the first impression, the first time somebody sees you, they form an opinion of you. And that is most often the opinion that carries on throughout your whole relationship with them. And I think that is true, but I also think that it is evolving within the GLP-1 community. You have women that have been on a GLP-1 for a couple of years now, right? We're coming up on 2 years for a lot of the early people, the early onsetters. Me, myself, I am one of them. And so I have noticed, and I want to know what your thoughts are too, a shift of these women. If you go back and watch their original videos where they were, more severely overweight, where they weren't as confident in themselves, and then you go and watch them throughout their journey and as they evolve, 9 times out of 10, you will start to see this shift of them caring more about what they look like, about them acting and speaking and carrying themselves in a different way than they were previously. I have said so many times throughout my journey that GLP-1s do so much more for you than just help you to lose weight, right? They help with health-wise. We know so many other things that they can help with, but I think something that we're missing or that hasn't quite been figured out yet is the mental aspect of the shift that happens once GLP-1 is really in your system, once you have it under your belt, once you've lost some of your weight, and once you're stepping back out into the world as a new quote unquote woman. I have seen this personally in my own life as well. There are a lot of people, most people in my life, who don't even know that I am on this journey, that I share this journey, and that I've built this community. And in the beginning, when I started my channel, when I started my Mounjaro journey, I would say that it was because I was scared of how I would be received and scared that I would fail. And then what? Like, then I can't backtrack and say, oh, well, this didn't work out for me. This thing that I've been talking about and sharing with you guys didn't work out. And so I just never shared it. So quite literally everybody on my like personal Facebook, nobody knows. I have a whole different friend group than I had when I started my journey. I have a whole different outlook on life. And part of the reason why I don't fit within those friend groups anymore, the ones that I previously had, is because I played a very different role in that friend group than I play now in a friend group. When I was overweight, I played that role. The overweight, insecure, non-confident friend. And so that person is present within every friend group, especially within every friend group of women. And I don't think that it is something that is done necessarily on purpose. I think that it's just sort of been this natural evolution of women friendship. But now that's not the role that I want to, choose to, can play within a friendship circle. And so most of those people that I was friends with in the beginning of my journey, I don't even talk to anymore, because it's just naturally, our friendship was built off of that, off of the person that I was and the way that I presented myself and the way that I carried myself. That's the person they became friends with. And I'm not that person anymore. And I haven't been that person in a long time. And so as I have had the quote unquote GLP1 glow up, I have had to evolve, or I have evolved into a new person. And with that has come grieving friendships that I thought were forever, grieving the person that I was, but also celebrating the new person that I am and treating the new person with love and kindness and compassion and understanding. And so do we have this sort of glow up? Yes. But what I think it more so is this sort of natural evolution of us finally being healthy, of us finally receiving the help that we need, and of us finally being able to enter into the world as our true selves, the way we were meant to be, instead of how society made us be because of the way we looked. I was always meant to be this, Brittany, this person right here. I was always meant to come on here, share my story. I recently told my friend Melissa, who you guys are going to be hearing, she's going to be our first story sharer, and I'm sure she'll watch this video. So, hey Melissa, hey girl, what's up? We actually tried to record the interview with her Monday, and the audio was all messed up. And so we're having to completely re-record it. And it was such a good conversation. And both of us are like, what if we would have been able to, like, it's me. So her, you can hear her, you can't hear me on the audio. And I'm like, if I could just remember everything I said and like voice over it, because it was such a good conversation. But she's going to be coming on soon. She has a lot to add to the space that I add to, right? With the past trauma and all that. But anyway, I was telling Melissa when we were having our conversation that I have always felt my entire life that I was meant to help people that suffered in a way that I suffered as a child, that I was meant to do something in regards to that, but I never could figure out what it was, right? And that was because I had built myself up, or built myself and my being around that. I had made myself overweight, made myself invisible, made myself the fat, non-confident friend because of my childhood trauma. And so I set myself up for not being able to help people and not having the space, the mental space or capacity, because of the trauma I was still carrying and the unforgiveness that I was still carrying, to be able to help people. And I've always been, my whole life, trying to figure out a way, how can I take what happened to me and turn it into helping somebody else? And I finally feel like I have figured it out. And I feel like GLP-1 and sharing GLP-1s and sharing the experience with GLP-1s and how it has shaped my future is the thing that I've been looking for my whole life. And so what I think we're going to start to see not what I think, what I know because of my personal experience and what I've seen in other people is we're going to see all of these people that have been shunned their whole life because they're fat or they are unattractive or they're non-confident, because confidence is everything. When you walk into a job interview, when you walk in the door, this has been proven. When you walk in the door and they look at you before you say anything, 8 times out of 10, they've already made up their mind. Just because of how you carry yourself and how you approach the situation and how you introduce yourself, still, again, before you even say anything, they have formed an opinion about you that is going to carry on into the interview, carry on into whether or not you get the job. And so I think we're going to start to see this shift of these people that come into the person that was hiding under the shell. Boom. There's my headline for this video. We are going to see all of these people that we thought were one way, that we thought were who they were for years and years and years. And then we're going to see, holy crap, you're a bomb-ass person. You're amazing. You are great. And you've always meant to be great. You were always meant to be this person. I was meant to be this Brittany. I was meant to share with the world what Mounjaro has done for me, how it has helped me, all of this. This was meant for me. And it's meant for you too. I promise you, if you're watching this video, there's a reason you're watching it. There's a reason you found me today. There's a reason you follow me. It's because I was meant to help you. And you are meant to help me. And that's the cycle of life, my friends. So does a GLP-1 happen? 100%. A GLP-1 glow up. 100%. But I don't know that it's a glow up. I think that it really is just us coming into who we were always meant to be and that we were held back from being. That's it. May that come to fruition through makeup and hair and dressing better and presenting ourselves better. Absolutely, because we actually care about ourselves now. So yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are as well. I think that throughout the internet, this sort of GLP-1 glow up thing is receiving a lot of like, oh, well, she's skinny now, so now she's going to do her makeup, or now she's going to do her hair. And it's misconstrued into this like being a fake, right? Like being somebody that you're not. But that's not what it is. It's us becoming who we were supposed to be, who I spent 20 years trying to be through healing and forgiveness and boundary setting. And now I'm finally her. So this is what you're going to get. This is me. And I feel like, I don't talk about religion and faith here a lot on this channel, but I feel like, especially with like sharing with people in my life, I feel like God keeps telling me to. Like I legit have written up a post on Facebook, like with a new picture of me, because I don't post much on my personal Facebook, with a new picture of me and sort of an update recap what the 2 years have been like for me. And I delete it every time. And then it pops back in my head. And I feel like God's like, can you just hit the share button? And I'm trying to open up opportunities for you. I'm trying to allow you to be yourself, and you're fighting me. And it's like, we can't fight it, y'all. We need to just do what we know in our heart and trust in our gut to be true, and everything will work out. So this video turned into something, I don't know if this is what I meant for it to be or not, but this is what it turned into, and I kind of like it, kind of here for it. So I want to know what your thoughts are down below. I want to know, of course, what you've seen, heard, watched, witnessed, whatever in your real life, experienced through yourself. I want to know, let's have a discussion about it. That is what this series is all about, is having a discussion about the things and what we are experiencing on this journey. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for part 2 of the video I posted yesterday, which was, why are we not losing weight? Yesterday we did what we could control. Tomorrow we are doing, yesterday we did things we can't control. Tomorrow we're doing things you can. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.